Hi guys. I'm just putting up a link. Hello everyone. Hi Roderick. Oh my god. Hey guys. Welcome. Let me just get Leslie on the line. Leslie should be popping up at any minute, any second. Yes! Fashion! Everyone! You have to give us a kick. Give us more. Give us more than that. Yes. Oh my God. Everyone, this is Leslie Williams of the Martha Graham Dance Company. And with that, we would like to welcome you to Straight Outta Martha's House, a look into the artists of the Graham Company.
What's up?
Welcome.
I think we just lost some viewers. They're like, this is not what I wanted. I'm leaving.
Actually, it's everything that they wanted.
I know, but you know, some people just aren't ready.
So you made quite the introduction, but can you state your name and where you're from?
So my name is Leslie Andrea Williams, and I am from Raleigh, North Carolina, where I am currently at now, at my parents' house in my childhood bedroom. Just, you know, living my best fashionable life, you know, what can I say?
Doing what you have to do.
Yeah. Quarantine does not stop for fashion. Okay? Or fashion does not stop for, I don't know if I said that right. Whatever.
Well, I have a question for everybody. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing a back static with me, but... Okay, you don't hear that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, cool. All right. So, first deep question. What was Leslie like as a child growing up and getting into the arts, getting into the dance?
She was pretty much what you just saw. Literally, like, dressing up, forcing my brother to dress up with me, and we would put on skits. And I was pretty wild and crazy. Even when I was in preschool, they were like, Leslie, you have a lot of energy. You should lead the class. Like, so we would have like these little performances, and little 5-year-old or 4-year-old me was like leading everybody. There's a picture because I was the only one that knew what we were supposed to be doing. And I was still doing that even like in 5th grade. I led a whole chorus class. There was one time my teacher, she was like going on sabbatical or something, and she was like, Leslie, I was 10. She was like, Leslie, can you lead the class? Can you lead the class while I'm gone? So I was like, all right, 5, 6, 7.
Ready for it.
Yeah, so that was me. And I haven't changed much, honestly.
Okay, all right. And how did you find your way into dance, first of all, and then into Graham?
I think my mom...
Into the Graham technique.
Into the Graham technique. So my mom, she put me in dance when I was 3, and I was doing, I think, gymnastics too. Like, I was doing both. And I remember doing an audition, and I couldn't do a cartwheel to the left for gymnastics, so they cut me.
Oh. Okay.
I remember. So then I think it just became dance. And I was pretty good at it, and so I just kept with it. And then with Graham, I didn't do Graham until I joined, went to Juilliard for college. And I had...
Juilliard.
Yes, Juilliard, the Juilliard school.
The
No.
Juilliard.
Juilliard.
Yes.
No. So I had Therese Capocilli as my teacher, which is like amazing. I didn't even realize how amazing it was at the time. And I had her for my first year and my second year. And then for my senior year, for our spring repertory, we were doing Dark Meadow, the whole thing, not the suite, the whole thing. And we did I Was She of the Ground, one of the lead parts. And I really loved it, really enjoyed it. And it sort of inspired me to want to audition for the company. But that was only because I was invited by the directors at the Graham Company. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll give it a shot. And that's how I got into Graham.
Well, because at Juilliard, you guys train in so many things. What attracted you to stick with the Graham, to go after it?
I think it spoke to me because it was very grounded in movement. Like the movement required a lot of strength and agility, and I loved moving like that. And also it was very theatrical. So I was kind of trying to decide if upon graduation, if I wanted to do Broadway or if I wanted to get like a modern dance company job. And I felt with Graham, it was almost like a little bit of both. So that's what really drew me to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you go to the audition. Well, you did the company, the audition workshop.
I did. Luckily, I mean, I'm so grateful that I did that, because if I hadn't done that, I would have gone to that audition not knowing what was going on. Like, I mean, Therese did as much as she could with me, but you know, it's different from actually being amongst the Graham students at the Graham School. So I was like, it was a big refresher. So yeah, I did the workshop, and that was really...
But you had it. You had it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your audition?
Oh, yes, sure. So the audition was 2 days. It was close to the end of the school year, so it was kind of like one of the last auditions that I did. And I wasn't expecting much, but I felt pretty good going in, because the audition workshop really gave me a good refresher and also exposed me to some of the rep that the company was doing at the time, like Echo, and we did a little bit of Deepak, the Nacho Duato piece. And I really enjoyed myself. So when I got into the audition, I remember feeling a little bit more confident, because I knew that that was some of the contemporary rep that we were going to be doing. And then on the Graham front, I was also pretty excited, because, well, first we did a ballet class, and I just want to say that the incomparable Paisley Chen-Pot taught the Graham combination, and it was this adagio. It was literally like, okay, so we're gonna develop and hold it, and then we're gonna promenade for 45,000 counts, and then you're gonna bring it back in and then do develop. And I was looking at her, because she demonstrated, obviously, and I was like,
I remember the whole room, we were all just staring at her like,
and half of us, half of us didn't even have ballet shoes on. Half of us were literally in unitards and bare feet. Nobody like was prepared for this.
I think that was the best part of the audition, because nobody saw that coming, and literally people were barefoot, wearing all kinds of just like whatever.
Not ready for a full-on ballet class, like prima ballerina. All that. She gave us all that. So did that, and I was like, all right, this is not what I expected, but great, let's do it. And then Tade gave a Graham combination. It was a lot of like step on the knees and a lot of floor stuff, and I was like, all right, let's do it. I can only do the best I can. It was hard, but it was fun, you know, because what I like about Graham is the amount of strength that's needed to execute a step. You can't be flimsy. You gotta have serious intention. And I just tried to give that as much as I could, even though I literally could not, I couldn't do like a 4th position recovery to save my life. So I tried to just sell it with my
Yes.
back, you know,
Yes.
grand back. Yes. And then we did some we did Chronicle.
You did
taught
Chronicle.
that. I remember you taught the
I was
trio.
so happy to teach that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
was
was
like,
so happy to
finally.
learn that from you. I was like, ooh, learn that. Ooh, look at that skin. Ooh, he's so
And I knew
attractive.
my counts. I knew
Yes,
my
you
music,
knew
everything.
the whole thing. I was like, is this something that the men do too? Not knowing at all. And
Not at all.
Yeah, not at all. But I was trying to give it to you. I was trying to jump. I was trying to do that contraction sit to the floor, and I was like, all right, let's go.
You did echo.
Yeah, did echo. We did a little bit of Embattled Garden for the tall ladies, which I love. We did some Lilith. And I was like, I was feeling it, feeling that, you know, feeling that. That was really fun. We did some Rite of Spring. We did like the girls' entrance contraction to the ground, and then like the bison jumps and all that. What else did we do?
That's already a lot. You had a lot.
Yeah, we did a lot. I mean, it was 2 days. Oh, and then to finish it off, we did the echo like partnering duet, the partnering duet. That was like the last thing we had to do, and unfortunately for me, I had a partner that couldn't really handle my size, basically, because I'm a tall person and he was tall too, but you know, it's just we weren't really like meshing together. And also I have really flexible shoulders, so there's this one crazy move in echo where we have to like do this lift and spin with like my hand behind, my arm locked, and like my leg here, I'm like upside down and all this craziness. So my shoulder was starting to like rip out of its socket.
I remember you crying.
and we were like doing it multiple times, you know, because we wanted to figure it out, and it was very fast and complicated. So I was, every time we did it, just rip it out my shoulder just a little bit more, and there was nothing I could do to tell my partner like, hey, like, is there a way to like fix this? Because, you know, we both, it was the last thing, we were very on edge, we just wanted to get this done. And also, you know, I'm a dancer, so I'm just used to pain, so I was like, all right, I'll just push through, you know. And then by the end, I was like very close to the end, I just, it was done. Like, I just started crying. I think it was you came up to me, you're like, are you okay? I'm like, no.
Well, then you had to come in for the interview part.
Yeah.
And you came in with literally like a bag of
peas.
I was like, where'd you get a bag of
peas from the freezer? Because there was no ice. No ice.
So but you got that job. But you still got the job.
Yes, sitting there with like a panel of astute management, just with a bag of peas, and they're like, we'd like to offer you a contract. And I'm like, already crying because I was like, oh my God.
Still crying.
Yes. I was just like,
But I remember I was like, this girl has some balls. She's ready. She's ready for this company.
I was like, yeah, thank you, you know, through the tears.
All right. So then you get the job. The peas are gone. You're healed. You start work. Years have passed by. What's your favorite role to perform now?
Oh, God.
Favorite Graham role?
Graham role, yeah. Definitely a Graham role. Well, I guess it goes without saying, but I did the lead in Chronicle. I've been doing it since January of last year. And it is a pretty amazing role. Get chills down my spine every time I finish. That last pose, we're all like, and all the ladies like, you know, it never gets old. It's one of my faves. I love performing it. And I feel I feel very honored, and I feel it's a very special role because I'm the first Black woman to perform the whole thing. So I feel very much like, I feel this, not necessarily like a weight, but I feel sort of like it just feels special to me, considering there have been many dancers of color that have come through the company, not a ton, but many dancers who are incredible. And now I have the ability, as a dancer of color, to perform something that hasn't been done by the dancers of color coming before me. So I feel blessed and honored and humbled by the experience. So it's one of my favorites, just based on that. Yeah.
Well, everybody, I mean, the Times wrote you up about, and that wasn't your premiere, but they wrote you up.
No, it was for Best Dance of 2019.
Yes.
For when we did it at, I think it was at the Joyce. That's what they were referring to.
Yeah.
That was when I first did it.
So
in New
it's
York.
your favorite, and you were everybody else's favorite in it.
Thank you. Yeah, it means a lot. And it's not even just the dancers of color, it's all of the women that have performed this role before me. I really have such respect and bow to them, because they really were such an example for me. All of the videos that I've watched, and also the dancers that I've seen do it since joining the company in performance. I have great respect for them and their strength, because it's not an easy role. And every show is different. Every specter is different. When you have that big skirt, it's like you and the skirt, it's nobody else. It's a serious relationship, complicated, but so I feel really grateful.
All right. Well, do you have a dream Graham role that you would like to perform?
I would say probably Aaron to the Maze.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to tackle that if I get a big, strong man who can dance with me.
Yes. I'm sure there can be a way to make that happen. Okay, I never knew that. Cool.
Yeah, I love that role. I love that Graham role because I love Therese Capocilli, and that video of her dancing that role, I've watched it on YouTube like at least 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I like know every little detail about what she does. Yeah, I love it. I just think I just love the message, you know, the idea of overcoming fear. That really speaks to me, and I'd love to tackle that on stage.
Okay, tackle it. Tackle it. Damn. Whoa. Okay, so then also, you know, we do contemporary work at the Graham Company as well. So what's been your favorite so far? Even favorite contemporary choreographer to work with?
I have to say my experience with Annie B. Parson was really fun, because it was so different from everything that, you know, we'd done before with the contemporary rep, because it was dancing, yes, but it was a lot of speaking roles. We had microphones on stage, and we were acting and interacting with the characters, and it was like a reconstruction of a Graham story that's sort of modernized. And so the script was really great because it had all of these sort of like hidden jokes in there. It's very ironic. There was a lot of nods to the former work, to the Graham work, but we sort of twisted it on its head, and we would ask like these rhetorical questions, and you would make the audience think, and it was very strange. But I think for the audience, they really loved it. I mean, it takes a intelligent mind to sort of twist Graham Ballet on its head and still make it sort of entertaining, but in a completely new way. So I really loved being involved in that process. And I loved all the speaking. I love the speaking stuff.
We could tell.
The Fates, we were three gals. We were like a girl group.
I'm sorry. Say your title again.
We were the Fates.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I wore this crazy costume. I looked like a pink cupcake. This skirt was like super, it was totally built out. It was all this tulle, just so much fun. I never thought I would do a role like this at the Graham Company, but here I am.
Oh, Ann Souders online, she says, it's family stuff.
It's family stuff.
That was one of Leslie's lines.
And Denise Vale, by the way, every time she hears me speak for some reason, she's always like, it's family stuff. Because she thinks I like, it just sounds like I'm always saying that all the time. Denise, but... yeah.
Leslie, what's been your favorite show so far? Like a memory of a favorite show of yours?
Well, I'm really into Killing Eve. I'm watching.
No, okay. I'm sorry. Not favorite TV show. Favorite dance performance with the Graham Company.
That was a joke because Lloyd Mayer, when he was asked this question, he said, "I love Killing Eve. This is like my favorite show right now."
I was like, sir.
Sir, excuse me, sir. No, so my favorite performance is probably I guess recently it was actually it's kind of funny. It was our last show that we did at Kennedy Center. And I did Woman in White. And I don't know, there was something about that show. I guess it was like the last show, so I was very relaxed, and it was one of those shows where I really just sort of understood my character on a deeper level. And because of that, I was very on my leg. That role, you have to be very on your leg. There's a lot of things that require, you're on your one leg, and you gotta, promenade and all that, and penché. And I was with it because I was just thinking about like that steadfastness in love. Yes. And I was like, wow, I feel really connected and calm and it was something I hadn't felt before doing the role, because I mean, yes, I feel that sense of calm, like especially if I'm on my leg, I'm like, yeah. But there was something else too at this time, so that made all the difference. And then another show that also recently happened was Fall for Dance. Last October, I did the lead in Chronicle for that. And that was really special because that was a show where I wore my natural hair out for the performance. And I got to, it was basically like wearing my hair down, but embracing my blackness, which felt really great because I could do it for the New York audience. And also it was sort of like my way of telling other Black dancers out there who do sort of like historic modern roles that you can wear your hair however you want. And it felt really good, and got a big standing O at the end of the show. And it was also a full circle moment because the first time that I'd seen the Graham Company perform was at Fall for Dance City Center in like 2012. And Blakely White McGuire was doing the lead of Chronicle, and Paige Uchempot was doing Steps lead. And I was like, wow, this is so amazing. And then my first Graham role when I joined the company was doing Steps lead. And then I got to do the actual lead, and I got to do it at City Center for Fall for Dance. It was like a crazy full circle moment that was really, really special. So yeah, I'd say that was probably a favorite show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and what do you have a favorite tour that we've gone on so far?
I mean, all of them have like great things about them. I mean, Paris was pretty amazing, obviously. Performing at the Paris Opera, I can't go wrong with that.
No, I said not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad. Not too bad. I will say, actually, just for sentimental reasons, my first tour with the Graham Company, or my first like international tour, was probably, one of the longest that we had been on. It was the 6-week tour where we went to Italy and then China and then back to Italy and then Germany, Istanbul, Russia, like all of these places. And I was just a young girl who had never left the country before, so I didn't know what was going on, but I was so excited. And I just remember having so much energy because touring is hard. And as time went on, you know, you do these long tours and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. But that first tour, I was like, let's go. Where's the next place? Like, I was so ready. And also the tour was just really great. We were well taken care of in all the places we went to. Italy, that ballet company that we perform with, they were so hospitable. Like, they took us out every night that week.
Had a good time.
Literally every night we were out. And this is just like my first time being anywhere outside of the country, so I just soaked it up, and it was really, really special.
I mean, also that first round of Italy, we were just rehearsing. So.
Exactly. We were just rehearsing, so we didn't have any obligations. So it was just like, let's go out, limoncello, you know.
No, that tour was epic.
Yeah, it was really special. And thanks to that company. Shout out to you guys, because you guys really made that Italian tour incredible.
Palermo.
And Palermo. And that's where we met Marzia Mamoli.
Yes.
Who currently dances with the Graham Company and is killing it. So shout out to you.
We love her.
Love her.
Can you speak about what's your biggest inspiration in the arts and your dance and life?
Wow. I get a lot of inspiration from everything, everywhere, honestly. I mean, from music, from film, from like walking outside in nature, you know, like talking to my friends, my colleagues, you know, my family, you know, just, I feel like art imitates life, and the only way to get inspired to do your art and fully embrace it, I feel, is to fully embrace life. So I feel like inspiration comes in all shapes and sizes and from all different places. So I feel like the more I live life, the more I get inspired to make art. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. And you've been a professional dancer now for a while.
A little bit, you know.
A little bit. What? Well, I didn't want to say a little bit because I feel like it hasn't been a little bit. So I
mean, compared to you, Mr. 15 plus seasons, I mean, you've been doing this for what, 50 years? Like,
oops. Oh, the shade. Oh, the shade. Wow. Just gonna let that go. Just gonna move on to the next question.
I respect all of the senior dancers in the company.
And I love you.
Can't wait to see you again.
I know, I miss everyone.
I miss you.
Side note.
Yeah.
I miss all you guys so much. I just want to like hug and see everyone. And just...
No.
But soon, very soon.
Soon. I think so.
Yes.
Hopefully. Yeah.
What advice, sorry. What advice would you give to the youngers out there trying to make it? What advice would you give to them?
The youngers. I think I would say that, you know, dance is hard. I don't know if you've heard. I don't know if anybody told you, but just letting you know that dance is really hard. And it's almost a thankless job, really, because you work so hard, and you push your body to its limit on a daily basis. And you have to be, intelligent to understand your craft and how your body works and how to work with other people. It's very important to have these skills, discipline, etc. But at the end of the day, you know, the arts, especially in America, are just not as funded as they are in other countries. And I believe, I mean, Martha says that dancers are athletes of God, but I feel like dancers should be on the same level as NBA players, in my opinion. Just side note there.
Boom.
Boom, mic drop. But yeah, so I think that in spite of all of that, I do believe that because dance is a form of entertainment, I think it's important to not take yourself too seriously. I think that it's so easy for dancers to get so worked up because there's this element of, you know, trying to be perfect and trying to be the best and I think all of that is sometimes necessary if you're wanting to better yourself and better your craft, but I think there's a balance that's involved. And I think it takes I think it's helpful to laugh at yourself, you know, like, so you had a bad show and, you know, you might have tripped on your face, fallen, but if you're not able to laugh at yourself, then you'll just constantly sort of put yourself in like this sort of self-deprecating zone that does not serve you in the long run as an artist, because art is embracing all aspects of life, and life is positive and sometimes it's negative, you know, it's not always roses and flowers, but but if you take a moment to just accept it for what it is and find the time to smile and be grateful, you, I think, will benefit, and you won't hurt your heart, because that's what it's about: love and enjoyment and entertainment and touching someone in the audience. You know, it's about reaching people who may not know anything about glam or dance or anything, and they come to see you perform. And if you're just focusing on like being perfect, then, you know, they're not gonna really get anything from
connect.
it. Yeah, they're not gonna connect with you. It's about humanity. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good answer. Good. Well, now I'm going to open it up to everybody out there.
All right.
On the web. So if you have a question for Miss Leslie, this is the time.
Ask away.
I'm
in a very talkative mood today. I feel I'm talking like a mile a minute.
We do. Oh, here we go. How do the directors and choreographers decide who performs a role? If you want to answer that, Leslie.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'm the best person to answer this because I'm not a director or a choreographer.
Yeah.
But I would say, I don't know, maybe you can help me with this one, Lloyd, but I feel like
I mean, that's a question for them.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I mean, I can only like try to give like my best answer, but it's not going to be the right answer because I am not in their shoes. So I would say DM Martha Graham Dance.
Yes.
And ask her that. Ask Martha Graham.
Janet Elber.
Yes, she will answer your question.
She makes all of those decisions.
Yes, she does.
So.
Yes.
But I would hope that it's off of, you know, people, how they dance, their accomplishments in the gram technique and
yeah.
Yes. Next question.
Okay.
Any others out there? Shoot them out.
Please.
For Leslie, for her. Oh, wait, we had one from before. You mentioned being a dancer of color. Which other would be your favorite? Oh, which other dancer would be your favorite, I guess, of color?
Oh, of color. Lloyd Knight.
Thanks, Leslie. Thank you. Yeah. But do you have another person?
Lloyd Knight.
By the way, thank you. Thanks.
No, I have respect. I have mad respect for all dancers of color everywhere. If you are a dancer of color, especially if you're in like a historical modern dance company, I give you a mad shout out because it's very hard. And also, if you are a dancer of color in the ballet world, I give you a shout out. Just if you're a dancer of color, I love you. You inspire me.
All right.
Yeah.
Next question. What's your sun, moon, rising?
Oh, yes. That's a good question. So my sun sign is Leo. Haha, surprise. My moon sign is Aquarius. And my rising is Sagittarius.
Okay.
What do you know what your signs are, Lloyd?
I don't know any of that. I just know I'm a Taurus.
Oh, you're a Taurus? Oh my God, that makes so much sense because
Yes.
Leos, for some reason, Leos and Tauruses, like a lot of my best friends are in fact Tauruses. So.
All right. Okay. Taurus in the house.
Leo in the house, you know.
Okay. I came on late. However, I do wonder, are the dance companies paying you guys to somewhat stay afloat? Yes, they are. But this also is a difficult time for all the dance companies, especially in New York,
Yeah,
all over the world, because our job is to perform. So,
yeah. We also have a GoFundMe.
with that said, we have a GoFundMe.
With that said, please donate to our GoFundMe. We have reached our goal, which is really exciting. Whoop whoop. But, you know, everything still goes a long way if you can. Please donate because it is for the dancer's survival.
The link is in my bio. It's in all the dancers' bios.
Yeah, so please go there and donate. Thank you so much.
Next, what are your aspirations for yourself in the company? And for the company in the future?
Oh, yes, I see this question. So, hey, by the way. So this is a good question because I think that the company, yes, Martha Graham may be considered like a Martha Graham technique may be considered like a dated technique or whatever. But I think that the work for me as a young person who has been in the company and has been in the company since being in their 20s, I find so much relevance to the work in today's society. And that's what's so great about Graham's work is that it focuses on universal themes that everybody can connect to and can resonate with them. And I think because of that, there can be a way somehow that we can really reach a younger audience. I think it's really about reaching out to the young people and getting them excited about the Graham technique and the Graham work, especially the Graham technique and the Graham work, because yes, we do contemporary rep and work with contemporary choreographers that are up and coming. But I think the Graham work is super special, and it's up to any young people out there that are tuning in to share and engage with us so we can engage with you. I think because there are so many young people in the company now, you know, we can all attest to the fact that Graham affects our lives in some way, and because of that, we feel like it can reach anybody, you know, young or old.
True that. How do you know maybe if you enjoy Pilates or yoga, but how do you know if Pilates or yoga is better for your body when it comes to cross training?
I mean, it depends on the person and the body, I think. For me, I enjoy doing yoga, but a lot of times I get a lot of pressure like in my knees. In my quads, that's like a little bit uncomfortable, so I can't do a lot of like the crazy knee stuff. I do like Pilates as well, but I think I use both interchangeably when depending on what I need for the day. Strength training, definitely Pilates, and then for like stretch and things like that, yoga. So it really just depends on who you are, what your needs are for your body.
How often do you cross train?
Pretty often, as much as I can, especially now that I'm here by myself with nothing else to do. I always try to like do something that's active, but I do love, I mean, if I'm not cross training, like I just like taking dance class.
Yeah.
Dance is my workout, you know.
What's a favorite? What's one of
I
your
mean,
favorite?
I love a good ballet class. I mean, you know, Mr.
Yes.
Steps. And also I have I have a ballet bar in my house in New York. So
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
I didn't
I
even know
use
that
that,
work.
and I give myself a little ballet class every morning
Okay.
before I come to work. So
Cool. Before hopping on your bike.
before hopping on my bike, which is also a form of cross training because I bike so much.
Yes.
I literally bike like that's how it sometimes like if I'm running from like PT or something, I'll bike up from PT and I'm not like super warm, so I'll use that as like my
Well, it does get your legs going. Like,
yeah, my legs, I'm like, let's do Chronicle, let's go.
ready to go.
Yeah.
Wait, are there any more questions? You have to have more questions out there, people, for this superstar. How do you unwind from an intense character / lead role from rehearsal?
Ooh, that's a good question. Hey, Sierra. So I unwind from an intense character lead role rehearsal. Well, you know, I have to say that's pretty hard because usually when you're in rehearsal, you go from like one character role to another character role. In the Graham Company, you have to wear many hats. So you could go from like doing Chronicle to doing like Night Journey to doing like, I don't know, what's like a happy Graham role? Like Every Soul's a Circus.
Yes.
And then you have to like work with Andrea Miller for 3 hours and you have to like get all intense. So like it goes from, it's different ends of the spectrum. So I'd say it's just a matter of realizing that this is a character role. It's a job that you're doing, so you don't want to exert yourself too much. Some days I try to focus more on technique than character. Sometimes, because it's like a lot of times you want to just make sure that you're thinking about logistical things. You want to think about, as Denise Bell would say, your math more so than like going full throttle, especially if you're tired, because you don't want to injure yourself or sort of get lost because you're into it so emotionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sort of easing into it. And then I'd say once the day is over, a nice bike ride to the train, sit, listen to some music on the train, just like let it go. Yeah, let it go. And then when you get home, like do something that is just not related to dance at all for like 1 minute. Just a little bit, decompress.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Next question. What are some possible tips for someone who is really interested in auditioning for Graham or Graham 2?
Oh, yeah, I'd say do it.
We
need more people like you. What tips do you have? I mean, take Graham class.
Yes, number one.
First and foremost, but also it's good to not just have Graham, it's good to have like contemporary dance experience, or just dance experience in other forms of technique, you know, because the Graham dancer is a very versatile dancer. So that's really important. And I would say that Graham 2 and the Graham Company are sort of like two different entities almost. Like they're connected, yes, in terms of like the rep and everything, but I would say that like what you need for Graham 2 isn't always the same as what you need for the Graham Company, except for like Graham technique. You know what I mean? Do you feel that? I mean, Graham 2 people weigh in here, but like I feel like I feel like Graham too definitely requires like taking class and really getting in touch with the Graham technique.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's like
Yeah.
it's I don't want to. This is the wrong word, but it's almost like a intense boot camp.
Yeah, for Graham.
I mean, intensive.
Yeah.
You're taking all the Graham classes. You're in Graham 2 rehearsals.
All the
Like,
classes.
it's just all day, every day.
Yeah. But I mean, like in the company, for me, when I joined, like I did not have a ton of Graham background, but the directors took a chance on me. And and I feel like I just feel like it's just good to have a repertoire of skills, dance skills. I think that's important.
Shout out to all the Graham members online now. Jacob, Charlotte, Natasha, they all say hi to
Hey!
and Souter.
Hey!
Next question. 5 musical artists in your recent plays right now. So 5.
In my recent play, well, I was just playing Madonna, so
you were
right
yes.
here. I listened to some weird music, you guys. I mean, like compared to the average person. So my favorite band in existence is Radiohead, the rock band, and I've loved them since I was like a teenager in high school. And my friends in high school, we like had a cult. Basically, it was almost like a Radiohead cult because we were just obsessed with everything that had to do with Radiohead. But my recent plays are recently played. So I was listening to some Bach.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to this like krautrock 70s band called Can. Okay. And then I was listening to a shoegaze band from the 90s called the Cocteau Twins. And then I was listening to some like world music. I was listening to like some Brazilian stuff and some stuff from like Africa. And then I was listening to this band called The Knife. And then this like hip hop group called Mad Villain.
Fun.
Yeah. So lots of genres, lots of
packed.
I mean, I have so much time. All I do is just like sit in my room, listen to music, and like write, draw, and stuff. So doing a lot.
Okay. I think this is our last question.
Okay.
It's a big one. What are the levels within the Graham Company, and what are the different responsibilities as you rise to seniority?
What are the levels in the Graham Company?
So you have apprentice.
You have apprentice. You have dancer. You have soloist. You have principal.
Wait, what? No, we have apprentice. You have apprentice, new dancer, core.
Oh yeah, new dancer.
Principal.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. But that's what I said. I said apprentice, new dancer. I skipped new dancer, but apprentice, new dancer, dancer, soloist, principal. That's what I said.
Natasha corrected us. She said chorus. Thank you, Natasha.
Chorus dancer.
Yes.
That's what it says on my contract.
But to finish answering your question, and Leslie, you can answer it.
Yeah, so different responsibilities as you rise in seniority. I mean, like as a dancer that's been here for, I'm going on, this would be my 5th season, I guess. There's just responsibilities in general in terms of carrying the work, responsibility for your own work, and sometimes training newer dancers in the work, coaching them. I'd say that's a big thing that I kind of realized was a responsibility as a more senior dancer. You really have to pass the torch down because there's only Denise and Janet that come in to coach us unless there's a special case, special ballet we're doing. So it's really up to the dancers to kind of give insight to the work that they can't if they're not there. So I find that to be really important in my responsibilities as a more senior dancer.
Bam. Boom.
Bam.
And, you know, like, as you rise each step, maybe you perform solo roles, so the responsibility gets a little bit more and more.
Yeah, you have a responsibility
heavier.
as an artist to for your own work, and when you perform, it's your job to sometimes carry a ballet. So that's a lot of responsibility and a lot of work that you have to do a lot of times on your own. And you have to come into the studio ready to perform, as if you're going to perform on stage. I mean, when I was doing Chronicle, I really wanted to make sure that by the time I got into the studio to do like a full run, that it was like as good as it could be there. Yeah. So I think that's really important as you rise up. Yeah.
Hey, Lorenzo. All right. Now we're going to play a flash round of questions. And you just answer them quickly. Okay? All right.
I'll try.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. Favorite song?
Anything by Radiohead.
Oh, okay. Favorite color?
Red or green.
What? Oh,
red or green.
Okay, but what's your favorite?
It's, okay, I mean, my aura color is violet. I don't know if it's lavender. So maybe I'll I don't know if you noticed. Maybe I'll go with that.
All right. Favorite drink?
Favorite drink, wine.
White or red?
Red.
Okay. Do you snore?
No.
Favorite borough?
I mean, I don't even live there, but I love Brooklyn.
Oh, right.
I literally don't live there, but I'm trying to move there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Rain or shine?
Rain or shine?
Dressy or relaxed?
Dressy.
Ooh. Bus or plane?
I mean, I would say plane, but I mean, traveling is a lot. Planes are a lot. I would say like a bike.
Okay, that was not even an option, but okay. Shower or bath?
Bath, honey.
Favorite movie?
Oh God. In the Mood for Love by Wong Kar-wai. I just watched that the other day.
Wow, okay. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Favorite dessert?
Cheesecake.
Ooh.
My dad has a cheesecake. He makes cheesecakes, and I've been eating cheesecake here. He has a cheesecake business. Cheesecake.
Yes. Favorite number?
11.
Biggest pet peeve?
When people say, sweetie. Like, you know, like people, I also don't like it when someone who's like close to my age calls me sweetie. I'm like, we're the same, like, are you my mom? Like, don't call me sweetie, please.
Pointed or flexed?
Pointed, even though I'm serving biscuits for days. I love a good point, but I'm glad that I'm with the Graham Company because we flex so much. So like I get to embrace my flex, so no one has to see like my biscuit. But you know, point.
Yes, thank you for your answer. Oh my God, thank you, sweetie. Thanks.
All right, bye.
I'm joking. Leslie, thank you so much.
Thank you, babe. I love
Thank you for joining us. Love you too. I miss you. I can't wait to see you.
I know. I can't wait to see you.
But thank you so much for taking time out.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Can we do it again? Like, I'd love to do it again.
Yes, we could do this. We could do this. Straight Out of Martha's House continues.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes, but thank you to everybody out there.
Yes, thank you for the questions. They're really great questions.
Thanks. Oh, you meant that, yes.
Well, yes.
Thank you everybody.
You too, but people who commented in with questions, I really like the questions, so thank you.
Yes. Okay, well, Leslie, thank you so much.